So you want to be a talking head on TV. You're smart, you're talented, and you want to make the next step. Let's talk about it. Network news has the perfect business model. Yes, it's true they have large costs for infrastructure, equipment, and of course, talent. Top-of-the-line news anchors aren't cheap. But unlike other industries, much of the talent comes at almost no cost. The legion of talking heads and specialists in any number of fields that producers rely on to augment their programming are in the thousands, with even more waiting in the wings looking for their shot. Anchors and hosts need you. They need someone to talk to as the on-location talent and the subject of the news are usually not enough to fill the time. Therein lies the need for the talking head to share their perspective. Some talking heads offer color on politics, medical advice, sports, and others are from the financial community, weighing in on the economy and markets like yours truly. Fortunately, money touches everything, and as a financial guest, you get to cover a wide range of topics. The symbiotic relationship between the news outlet and the featured guest gives both something for their efforts. The news director fills up the time, and the guest gets the media exposure they crave. Everybody wins. The problem for the guest is you start to fall in love with the idea of being a media personality. Some, of course, truly are. In fact, some go on to become anchors themselves and even get their own programs. However, they are the rare exception to the rule. Brenda Butner, the brilliant anchor for Fox News who passed away a few years ago from cancer, she once took me aside and told me something I'll never forget. She said, "David, don't fall in love with being on TV. It will rip your heart out. You will fall out of favor for a variety of reasons, and it can happen in a New York minute." I can tell you that as a guest, even just an email from an associate producer or a nod from the anchor, "Job well done," was more than enough payback to justify the hours necessary to commit to even a single interview. It might mean getting up in the middle of the night to make a 6 a.m. start, and of course the prep necessary to research the subject of the interview adds even more time. And then, after hours of preparation, you walk onto the set and the anchor pivots to something completely different. That's live news, and you have to learn to roll with it. Those moments often become the best interviews because it turns into a conversation that can go anywhere. Unfortunately, at some point, you do fall out of favor. You might roll on to another network, a radio show, a podcast, and maybe after some time, back to where you even started. I won't deny it. When the calls stop coming in, it hurts. That's life. Rejection comes with the territory, but you can take that rejection and use it to your advantage and make yourself better. Broadcast media, in all its forms, is just like any other art form. The rejection is painful, but it's also an opportunity to get better, or in some cases, move on to a platform that showcases your talents. For many of you, that might mean your own podcast. But of course, now you have an even bigger role to fill. You're not just an expert talking head anymore. You have to learn how to turn your expertise and talent into a marketable show. And now faced with the very same challenges producers and directors deal with each and every day. I was a recording artist long before I ever hit the world of finance. I remember you came off stage, you didn't get the audience response you hoped for. It's a gut punch. It can be the same for a guest who has a TV hit that just didn't go off as planned. You had that one phrase you wanted to get out, but the interview didn't give you the opportunity. Your best option? Don't even think about it. Listen to the anchor and make it a conversation. Answer the question they ask before you pivot to something you want to talk about. You have to remember that network news is probably one of the most competitive mediums on the planet. Everyone is scrambling for eyeballs, and a producer will try and do almost anything to get those views, clicks, whatever. They may experiment with guests who may not be as smart as you, but bring something maybe you don't have. Maybe they're younger, or demographic they need to fill. Perhaps the most important criteria today, how big is the guest's social media following and will it boost their ratings? All in, yeah, being a talking head, it's fun. Certainly an ego boost, and sometimes can even lead to bigger and better things. Just don't fall in love with it. Thanks for joining. I'm David Nelson.